Lottie Tomlinson is an influencer. She has over 5 million followers online. She is, of course, One Direction Louis Tomlinson's sister. There they are together. Today, though, she joins me to talk about a very, very personal campaign. Now, you might remember that Lottie's mum, Johanna, and sister Felicity both died within 2 years of each other. Terrible time for the whole family. Lottie hadn't even turned 21. Well, now, and this is very important, she wants to get all of us talking more about grief and how we're dealing with it.
I just remember going to visit my mum when she was ill, and she gave me this card, and it was just kind of a token of her kind of telling me how much she loved me. It says, "To my gorgeous princess, the bravest bug eyes in the world, love you forever, mummy, kiss, kiss, kiss." When I go back to that card, it just reminds me of how much strength she had to write that card, because that card was written, I think, only just over a week before she passed away. It was obviously on her mind that she wanted me to have something, you know, to keep, and she wanted me to have some words from her that I can look back on.
Well, Lottie joins me now. Do you know what? That's what you said there is going to hit home with anybody who has suffered loss.
Yeah.
And goodness me, you really have. This campaign, it's really important to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think it's just amazing how Sue Ryder are always coming up with different ways to try and, you know, appeal to different people of how they can tap into their grief and, you know, just cope with it a little bit better. You know, 88% of people feel alone with their grief, which is just such a sad and shocking statistic. So trying to do these campaigns to encourage people to, you know, be a bit more open with their grief is just really important.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that thing, that keepsake, that card that your mum wrote to you when she was very sick.
Yeah.
But thought about you. You know, Bug Eyes, she called you. You all had nicknames, the whole family. But to do that, that's so precious, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think obviously those memories are all you have left of the person you've lost, and it makes them so much more meaningful, and being able to look back on stuff like that, I find a lot of comfort in that, and I think other people would as well. So this Back for a Moment campaign is really encouraging people to kind of do the same.
It's a great idea, and to hang on to things, and because it's so important. It's these things that you can't put a price on that card.
No.
You know, you can't put a price on maybe, you know, a piece of jewellery. It doesn't matter the value of it, you know, what money it cost. It's not about that.
Yeah.
And also there is this thing, don't you think, Lottie, and I'm sure you found it, when funerals happen, everybody obviously talks about the person. As time goes on, I think people sometimes don't know, like they would be maybe a wee bit worried to talk to you about your mum or your sister because they don't want to cause you any pain.
Yeah.
But actually you want to talk about
Definitely.
them.
I think that's something I found really difficult is, you know, you kind of notice people stop talking about them, stop kind of asking you how you're feeling, which I think comes from a nice place because people don't want to bring it up and they kind of maybe think that you've got to a better place with everything and you're fine. But I think people always would like that space to be able to open up, you know, and being able to give someone that space, I think, means a lot to that person.
Oh, very much so. So we shouldn't be frightened.
No.
We shouldn't be scared of talking about somebody who's maybe recently died, or it doesn't have to be recent.
No.
It really doesn't at all. And of course, you've got 2 little ones.
Yeah.
I would imagine, I mean, obviously you miss your mum every single day.
Yeah.
But when you have babies, I always think the first person you want there is your mum.
Yeah.
You do. And that must have been so hard for you because you would miss her so much.
Yeah, it's been really hard, especially, you know, my mum was always a midwife, so we'd always kind of spoke about the fact she would help me through, you know, all the birth and everything. So not having her there for that was really tough. And then when you've got a newborn, there's questions you want to ask. And it's just the fact that she's not going to know my kids, which is such a hard thing to come to terms with. But I think you just have to keep trying to remind yourself that they're watching, and all the lessons she taught me, I take on, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, exactly. Even though you were so very young when she died. But do you keep her alive to your children? Do you talk about her, show them photos, do all of that sort of thing,
Yeah, so my little boy's just turning 3, so I feel like we're just kind of starting to introduce the idea to him now. And just because she's not physically here, I don't think that means that she can't be a part of their life. You know, I would always want them to know about her and know how important she was to me. So I'll definitely make sure they know who she is,
You did get help after your sister died.
Yeah.
You got therapy and found that actually very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful indeed. Anybody who is going through this right now, maybe they're watching right now and going through the same kind of thing that you went through, having been through it yourself, what sort of advice would you give to them, Lottie?
I think I would just encourage people to talk. You know, it seems like an obvious one, but it's really important. I think it's so easy to bottle things up and try and block things out because it's too painful to face. And I definitely did that myself at the start.
Of course.
And I found that it made me end up in a pretty dark place. So even just talking about that person, opening up to people that you're comfortable around, even if it's not necessarily therapy, if you don't have access to that. Or, you know, Sue Ryder have amazing helplines that you can use and access, which are free. So that's another amazing
and maybe that's a good idea, Lottie, because sometimes it's very difficult to talk to the people closest to you. You actually find it quite hard to do that. Not everyone, but, you know, a lot of people do. And if you and they've got, of course, experts. You know, Sue Ryder have got absolute experts, and they just will let you talk. They know there's nothing they haven't heard.
No, exactly.
So you shouldn't feel in any way, feel any embarrassed anyway, but you can just sometimes just vent.
Yeah, that's all you need to do sometimes. Just talk to someone who's got an unbiased opinion and just offload all them feelings.
Absolutely.
It makes it feel so much lighter, I think.
And even, do you know what? Even if you say to somebody, I'm really sorry, this is absolutely rubbish, or stronger words than that, you know, that because it is.
It's just anger that you need sometimes to get out, which is so understandable.
No, absolutely. I think the campaign is a brilliant thing. It's just all about remembering people, whether it's with a keepsake or not, whether it's just keeping them sort of alive in a sense.
Alive.
It's the memories, isn't it? And you'll pass all those fantastic memories onto your babies as well. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Great to talk to you, and more power to you, because you've got a big platform and you're using it in such a fantastic way, volunteering for Sue Ryder and all of that. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We have all the best moments from the show right here on the channel, and if you like this video, then we think you'll love this one. See you next time.